Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Liquid Loans Behind the Scenes. What we've been doing over the last few episodes is we started off with just a brief introduction to the system and the team, and then we've just been going through the basic components of the system. We've looked at the tokens involved, so the loan token, the USDL token. In the last video we looked at actually creating a loan and setting up a vault. So we've just slowly been inching our way into the system to get a good understanding of how it works. In this episode, we're going to have a quick look at the loan token, so the secondary token in the system, and the staking of that token. So why would you want to actually stake it? Excuse me. All right, and then we'll have a look at how you can actually earn the loan token later on. But for now, let's just let's understand where the value comes in on the loan token side of things. All right, so we mentioned that we have this secondary token called the loan token. And look, there may be a sacrifice coming up soon where you could potentially sacrifice for a worthy cause, and maybe someone would give you an airdrop of some loan token. No promises, no expectations, but that's one way you might be able to get hold of some loan token. The other way is by actually using the system, and by using the system correctly, or supporting the actual protocol, or supporting things like liquidity pools on decentralized exchanges, then you can actually earn the loan token. We'll delve into that more on the next video on how you actually earn it within the protocol. But let's just have a look at where the value, what is the value of having the loan token? Like why would you want to hold it? And it really is an asset that is a yield producing asset. So it's a productive asset that is going to provide you with a return over time. Now, we briefly touched on this, but when you deposit your loan tokens into the loan staking pool, so we're down here on the loan staking pool, you're basically you're an owner in the system. So you're an owner in two ways. You're an owner because you actually hold the loan token. So you've purchased this token, which is core to the protocol. Now you could just sit there and hold that, and that's fine. It could go up in value quite high, particularly if a lot of people are staking it. So that's that more passive play where you're just holding the token and looking for it to appreciate in value. But we think there's more to the system. So not only can you be an owner, but you can actually get a share of the fees that are generated within the system. And that's really powerful. So we said that in order to do that, so you can either hold the loan token and not get any fees, or you can deposit the loan token into the loan staking pool. And this is where we get to see a little bit of magic. Okay, so we mentioned that every time a vault is created, so we put in that's a big square, but that's okay. So we put in our pulse on this side. So our pulse goes in here, and we mint out some USDL. Okay, now the fees in the system, they start off at 0.5% to create a loan. So that's of the loan amount you take, so of this component here. And they range up to 5%. And you go, wow, that's a big difference. Most of the time you'll find it down at the lower end. The only time you'll find it at this higher end is if there's a reason for a lot of redemptions. And we talked about redemptions briefly in the last video, and we said they're important for the system health. But if you get too many redemptions, then you've got to put the brakes on the system a little bit and make it less attractive for people to take out loans or to redeem coins. So you've got some levers you can pull to help stabilize the amount of stablecoin out in the market, and just get that the balance right, so that it brings the peg back into line. As soon as the system's stabilized enough, then that rate will decay back down to the minimum. So most of the time you should be taking your loans out at the minimum. Why would you take a loan out with maximum fees? So it incentivizes the right behavior in users. Okay, so we said that when someone creates a loan over here, a fee is paid, and we said that it ranges between 0.5 and 5%. Where does that fee go? Well, it gets sent across to the staking pool, and it gets sent across in the form of USDL. So every time someone's creating a loan, that fee is going to the owners of the loan token that have chosen to stake it. Now you remember on the last video we talked about redemptions. We said there was a guy out here who was pretty happy. He had some USDL that he sent back into the system and received some pulse back for that. So he actually redeemed his USDL. If you don't understand that, go back and watch the previous video. So he sent his pulse in, he sent his USDL in. He wanted to redeem it for the underlying collateral, which was pulse. That's cool. He done that. Same goes. He has a redemption fee of 0.5 to 5%. Okay, so same rules apply. Every time you want to redeem something, you have to pay a fee. Where does that fee go? Well, it gets sent over to the loan staking pool in the form of pulse. So if you're a loan token holder and you've got it sitting in the staking pool here, you are getting both USDL and pulse. Now I think the system will pay you more USDL because I think there'll be more loans generated than there will be redemptions, and I'll explain why. So we said someone's sitting over here and they've got some USDL and they want to redeem it. What is a redeeming doing? They're basically they're cashing in. It's like you go to the casino and you take your chips and you cash them back in the cashier and they give you the dollars back. In this instance, you're taking your USDL, you're putting it back into the system and you're trying to extract the pulse. Now the reality is when USDL is outflowing through the pulse ecosystem, there's probably going to be really little reason to go into the protocol and try and redeem it, because you could just trade it on a DEX. With this fee wouldn't exist on the DEX. So on the DEX we've got a lower fee to do a trade. So why would you come here and pay a higher fee to swap your USDL for pulse when you can do it on a decentralized exchange? Just doesn't make sense. And you go, okay, well that's great, Jack. So why would you even have this thing called a redemption then? It's important. It's important for the health of the system. So we said, if you recall, we said 1 USDL can always be redeemed for $1 worth of pulse. Okay, you go, yeah, that makes sense, that's fair. But let's have a look what we really mean by that. So if for any reason the price on the open market of USDL dropped to, let's say it went from $1 and it fell down to 95 cents. Okay, we said you can always redeem this at face value. So if you could go buy this at 95 cents, redeem it here and get $1 worth of pulse, $1 worth of pulse, you've just got an arbitrage gain of 5%. Okay, so if the price of USDL on the open market is selling for less than what it can be redeemed for within the system, it will encourage redemptions. What do redemptions do? They take the USDL supply off the market. So it's a supply and demand dynamic. It's the quantity of money theory. So you remove the quantity of the money out there and it brings the peg back up to the $1 mark. So that's the importance of redemptions. But a redemption is only worthwhile doing if the price of USDL is trading at a low enough value to offset the redemption fee. Yep. So if you could buy it at 98 cents, but it was going to cost you 3% to redeem it, well then you're worse off. So that's why that variable fee up here on the redemption side is really important. It acts as a break, what would you call, like a bit of a, I guess a break is the right term. So it limits how many people would actually do redemptions, because if there's too many redemptions, then the price of the redemptions are too high in the amount, then it'll start to increase the fees to make people ease off on the redemptions. So it's very clever the way the system's designed, and it keeps that price peg in check. So both on the loan side with the fees we've got, you don't want too many loans getting generated sometimes, so you ramp up the fee on the loan side. So it's this self-balancing mechanism that the system has. Okay, I wasn't going to go into too much of the redemption side of things, but it was important to understand where the fees come from and the importance of redemption. So I guess not too bad that we mixed it into this one video, because it gives you the whole picture. Look, I think that's all I really wanted to cover in this video. I think we've got a good picture now of the loan token, so what it does and where the fees come from, and you've got a bit of a bonus session on redemption side of things. So next video, we're going to have a look at the stability pool. So that's the final piece of the puzzle here. You've learned all about the core tokens. Now let's have a look at the stability pool and what it does for the system as well. I'll catch you all on the next episode. Bye for now.